was a big investment in my confidence, which makes you look better. My breasts did not belong to me. Wounded little bird visually vomited everything out. It improved my confidence by 120%. I'm sweating like a pig. I'm not worried that I'll look vulgar, which I'm so grateful for. Hello. Welcome to my channel. My name is Dee. If you have been here before, thank you so much for returning. If this is your first time, welcome. Today I'm going to share a video about my breast reduction procedure. If you haven't watched my 2 previous videos about this topic, please feel free to go and watch them, but you don't necessarily have to. They're just more about what made me have a breast reduction and why I chose to go to Antalya, Turkey versus staying in the United States. Disclaimer, I'm not a doctor. This is just my experience. I have researched this topic a lot over years before I decided to go ahead and have a breast reduction. So please get yourself a lot of information from reputable sources and don't do anything just because someone else on the internet said you should. And obviously consider liking, commenting, and subscribing to my channel. By the way, it's 100 degrees in Brooklyn, New York. My husband hasn't installed the AC yet. I'm in our bedroom. It feels like a sauna. I closed the windows because I didn't want the noise to come in while I'm recording, so I may be sweating like a pig. Just ignore it. Anyway, without further ado, let's get going. Let's go. 6 months breast reduction update. So what really happened in those 6 months? Where do we start? All the way in January. January 10 comes, I am in Turkey, I have the breast reduction. Everything goes beautifully. The procedure was 4 hours long. I had a breast reduction, a breast lift, and a lipo on my left armpit, and instead of having a lipo on my right armpit, as per the doctor, he said he wanted to lipo it out, the fat cushions, but once he went in, he realized it's not just fat like I had in my left armpit, it was more of a breast tissue. Basically my breast wanting to continue growing in my armpit. I know, this sounds awful. First time I've heard it too, so he had to cut it out. I have a little teeny tiny incision in my armpit, totally irrelevant to me, unnoticeable kind of almost. Have my procedure, everything goes well. My only really hardship that I felt about my procedure was after I woke up from anesthesia, I was terribly nauseous for pretty much 3 to 4 straight hours. I generally deal really well with pain and poorly with nausea. So the nurse came every few hours to add more anti-nausea medication into my IV, and it helped a little but not enough for me to feel comfortable. So I kept puking, kept vomiting, and after about 3 to 4 hours, once I officially vomited everything out, I felt like, okay, I think that's it, I'm done now. Was I worried at any point that something went wrong in my surgery and now I'm vomiting? 100% not. I knew how anesthesia works and I knew that sometimes you can get irritated. The mistake I made is when the doctor said try to not eat anything from midnight till the surgical time, I kind of ignored that. I just don't generally eat past 8 p.m. or rarely do I do. So his assistant texted me at 8 p.m. to remind me of that. I already stopped eating like an hour ago, and then midnight came, and then my surgery was at 1 p.m. the next day. So it was a long time for me, pretty much 16-17 hours without food, and then they filled me up with the anesthesia and the medications, and then my body was just like, what? You know, terrible. I forced myself to eat little bits here and there just to have something to vomit other than acid. In Turkey, at least at my clinic, they keep you at the hospital or at the clinic for 1 day or 1 night post-surgery, which I'm so grateful for because I know in New York City at least, I'm not sure about the rest of the United States, they don't keep you, they let you go right after surgery, after you wake up, and they, clean you up. I did have drains just that 1 night. The next morning he showed me how everything dried up in the drains and the tubes, meaning there's no need for them anymore, which I was really grateful for. We go home, pain-wise, if I had to explain my pain from 0 to 10, 10 being the worst imaginable pain and 0 being none, honestly, without lying, I would say 2 to 3. I was super surprised. The doctor prescribed 1 really heavy set of medications to me and said take these only if the pain is unbearable. And he prescribed to me another set of medications who were medications that my friend takes when she has migraines. So nothing heavy. Take these every 4 hours and or as needed. Take these only if it's unbearable, right? So 2 sets of medications. I've never opened the box of the heavy medications because my pain levels were so minimal. Honestly, I can't even say I was in pain ever. It was more that I felt really heavy pressure on my chest, and I always felt like I was in this hunched position, especially for the first week, because I couldn't like straighten out my back because of the pressure. This position made me feel comfortable. And obviously because you had a huge procedure, you feel kind of self-conscious about your movements and stuff. You can't just move the way you want in the first week especially. I felt those sensations, but pain, I really wouldn't say that I had pain. So these over-the-counter medications that my friend uses for her migraines worked just miracles with me, were just fine. I took them every 4 hours, the first 10 days, and then after 10 days I took them as needed, and then I just kind of stopped. Type of incisions I had the anchor tag incisions. I always knew I'll have scars, and I honestly never cared because the weight of the breasts that I had versus scars, it was just not important for me if I have scars compared to the heaviness of my previous chest. I truly don't know what else and much to tell you other than I had a wonderful, fantastic experience at my doctor, hospital, his clinic, and everything surrounding my breast reduction. One piece of advice that I could give you would be to research your doctor. Don't believe everything you see and read online. The reason I chose this doctor was because the friend that I stayed with in Antalya, Turkey, has a friend slash a cousin of her husband who had a breast reduction with this doctor. So I connected with this lady. I saw her before and after photos. I spoke to her. I spoke to my friend who had information from her friend. So it was very kind of first-hand experience. I knew what the hospital was called. I knew what the doctor was called. I knew the process way before I even decided to do it. And then also I connected with the doctor. I spoke to him on and off for a whole year. Asked him about little things that came up to my mind down the line, in the process. I wanted to make sure I'm 100% comfortable and don't go into this procedure with any stress. I have no words how to thank this doctor and his whole team. He did a great job. I always wanted a breast reduction because I felt uncomfortable. I felt my breasts did not belong to me. I'm only 5'2" and I weigh 115, 120 pounds, give or take, and I had a double D cup. So it was very heavy. I could never run and exercise the way I want to. Anything cardio, I had to do this to jump. It's just terrible. And then clothing, forget about it. This dress I could never wear with my previous breasts, and now I'm not worried that anything will come out. I'm not worried that I'll look vulgar or any of that. It's just easier to dress. Honestly, it improved my confidence by 120% because truthfully I was always only unhappy with my breasts. Also in my previous videos, I mentioned how I used to do competitive dancing and I stopped once puberty hit and my breasts started to grow kind of almost overnight, very rapidly. So a breast reduction is not just an aesthetic procedure which makes you look better, which I have nothing against, but make sure you do it for the right reasons. I truly feel so good about my body right now because I can dress much quicker. I can find clothing much quicker. If you saw my previous videos about me looking for a wedding guest dress for my trip to Barcelona, I would never be able to try any of these dresses with my previous breasts because they would fit everywhere else, let's say, because I'm small everywhere else, and my breasts wouldn't fit. So I was always very discouraged to even try shopping for clothing, and now I maybe not love shopping for clothing, but I also don't know if I don't love it because I'm in a habit of 20 years of not liking to go to shop. I have convinced myself that it's not for me, but in reality I was just a wounded little bird. Didn't feel comfortable in her body because her breasts didn't fit, and anytime I made something fit somehow I looked vulgar, which is not something I like, not my style. So now I just feel good. Anything I put on, as long as it fits, it's a good cut for me, and as long as I feel comfortable, it really makes me feel okay, more than okay. Versus before, I would wear clothing just to hide my big chest. So it's not just a plastic aesthetic surgery, it's a life-changing surgery that was a big investment in my confidence. confidence. I felt great at the wedding because I wore fancy dresses that I would never be able to wear. I remember in 2021 we went to another destination wedding to Italy and I was so desperate, couldn't find anything. Ended up finding a baggy dress. Now looking back, I looked good in it, but it wasn't a dream dress. It was just a black dress with something around your neck and then goes like this, and it was baggy from here down. And that bagginess helped me kind of hide my chest. And then let's not even get into my back pain, my neck pain, and the posture issues. One of the best decisions of my life. Now I'm looking forward to life in a little bit more of a brighter way. I know this may sound shallow. It's just a lighter feeling and a better perspective towards my body. Something else I've noticed, because I'm slim everywhere else, now that my breasts are smaller, I see my stomach. I actually have ribs that are visible and baby abs that are visible because my breasts used to cover them. So my torso looks longer, clothing looks better. Now it's proportional to my body. That was my main wish, for my breasts to be proportional to the rest of my body. So I couldn't be happier. Big thank you to my doctor, Bora Yücel. Never know if I'm pronouncing his last name correct. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Let me talk a little bit about the post-op care. I've heard a lot of people online in the time of me researching that they needed big help with showering and just daily life. My friend, yes, was there for me. I stayed with her a week and then I came back and my husband was here for me. But I can't say that I really needed 100% assistance with those things. The first week I didn't wash my hair and my friend would help me get safely in the tub just so I don't slip. But when I came back and I really needed to wash my hair, I sat down in the tub and my husband washed my hair because I couldn't do this. I couldn't lift my arms up, right? So yes, that is help. But I feel like other than the hair washing, everything else was very manageable. I made sure for a long time not to put anything over my head, like no shirts or clothing generally. So I would just do everything buttoned down. So when it comes to how to prepare for your surgery, I suggest getting at least 2 surgical bras. I got 2 from my doctor. I still actually wear them to this day. I don't have them now because they're very heavy and the straps are very wide, not really appealing. Took them off, which is totally fine. My breasts are still, you know, standing nicely. But once I take this off, or in an everyday, day-to-day basis, I wear them still. I just feel comfortable. I don't have to wear them at this point, but I do feel comfortable. It just gives me good pressure. Last night, for example, I put a sports bra on because both of my surgical bras were in the wash. I also, at this point, because it's been 6 months, it's June now, I had a surgery in January, I do plan to slowly wean myself off the surgical bras. I bought myself 2 bras. I'll show them in the screen here somewhere, that have thin straps, one in beige and one in black. I wear them when I need to wear something nicer. So my doctor did tell me that I cannot wear any wires, so any bras with underwire, for a full year. So I bought myself these 2 bras that have just an elastic here and works totally fine. The elastic is pretty much just as wide as the surgical bra, so nothing is like in my incisions. I also want to say that at around 3 months post-op, I started wearing silicone scar tapes. I also tried silicone gel, which is fine, but it didn't work for me because my clothing would kind of wipe it off, and I find the silicone tape much better. Put it on and they go till up to 10 days, and then they kind of start to look gray and start to peel off. So that's much more convenient for me. I have them on for 10ish days and then I change them. You can shower with them and everything. My scars as of now look really good. They're not raised, they're not keloid scars, they're just red and flat. And I know that in a year from now, they will be much lighter. And honestly, even if not, just having small breasts is everything to me. Show you a little while I'm standing here, just a little above my breast. So this is my waist and these are just here standing nicely alone. Go really well with my overall frame. So yes, I'm thinking if I forgot anything, please leave your comments down below if you have any questions. I can always make a new video. But all in all, one of the best decisions I've made. I'm thinking next year, January, go to Antalya to actually be a tourist and take my husband and son. And I have a really dear friend there, my friend that I stayed with. So I do want to see her and her husband and son. But I want to use the opportunity when we go to actually meet the doctor again at a 1-year post-op so he can look at everything. One piece of advice I could give you is to not force yourself to be physically more active than you should in the first 6 months and maybe even beyond, because you may feel, that was at least my experience, you may feel physically much better than you thought you would. And that may lead you to stretch your scars by maybe raising your arms too high, picking up heavy things too soon. Unnecessary, really. Let other people help you whenever you can get the help, and don't stretch your scars if you don't have to. As for physical activity and exercise, I walk a lot, I bike a lot. I still haven't been back to the gym because I don't want to stretch my scars. I really listened to my body and I felt like I was not ready because I felt like I was straining my tissue too much. And the doctor did clear me to do exercise after, I want to say 12 weeks. Don't quote me on this. I want to say 12 weeks, it's been a minute, but let's say he said 12 weeks. Once the 12 weeks hit, I still didn't feel comfortable. And now it's 6 months and only now do I feel like I would go and lift and I would feel okay. And even then I would watch the weights and not push it. And also I need to add, I'm not passive, I'm not sitting on the couch every day. I walk a lot and I bike a lot and I move my body a lot. Even though I sit 8 hours at work, I still always find a way to move. I lift stuff around the house, I pick stuff up. Okay guys, I think that's all. I hope you got at least some information out of this. If you are getting ready to have a breast reduction, good luck to you. Let me know how it went. Let me know what you're excited about. Let me know what fears you have. Trust me, I know I've been through all of this. I hope this video helped you with anything. Comment if you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to respond. Like, share, and subscribe this video if you find it useful. If not, it's fine. I thank you for watching this video and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!